Yeah.
You want to like them, but you can't.
Are you listening?
What?
Are you listening?
Did you bring me on this show to insult me?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all don't want it with us, man. We straight gangsters over here.
Straight
man.
gangsters. Yeah, good morning and welcome back. You are listening to Scout Team Radio. We bring it to you hot and live each and every morning, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. on 12-ounce sports radio. I am one of your gracious hosts. They call me Loudbeard.
You are the most egotistical, self-deluded person I have ever met.
Yep, all that is true. And the man on the other microphone, he is a legend in his own mind. We call him
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is Chris America coming to you live this Tuesday. It is a wonderful Tuesday, Loudbeard, because it's our Tuesday. It's a Tuesday to talk sports, and anytime I get to talk sports on the microphone with you and to our fans, it's a good day.
That it is. It is a good day. And Tuesdays are the best days to do it. So are Monday and Wednesday and Thursday and Friday also, but Tuesday is also a great day. Yep, all of that is true.
Tuesday's a good day, and it's Taco Tuesday.
Oh, is it? Is that,
yeah,
is that a thing?
What's your favorite kind of taco? Honestly, I'm a boring taco guy. I'm just ground beef, sour cream, shredded cheese, and lettuce, and I'm good.
Okay, so you're like classic, order the regular at Taco
Yep,
Bell,
mhm.
get 5 of them,
Yeah.
you're good.
Yep. People make fun of me all the time for eating tacos that way.
One of my favorite Mexican restaurants to go to locally has this really great shrimp taco, and
Okay.
that is one of my favorite tacos to order. Every time I go there, I order the shrimp tacos. It's got this really good sauce on it. It's hard to describe, but the taste is just like a good warm mouthfeel in my mouth, if you know what I mean.
A warm mouthfeel. I can feel that. I think the guys at Craft Brewed Sports can dig that too. A warm mouthfeel.
Yeah, they like those mouthfeels. They like them.
Now, honestly though, I feel like tacos price themselves out for me. Not that I'm cheap, but I kind of have like an appraiser's mind where if I feel like something doesn't meet its value in price, I don't get it. So tacos used to be that thing that was cheap on the menu. You could get like 4 or 5 tacos and it would be the same price as like a full meal. Now it's like you get 2 tacos, maybe some chips, and it's like $6 to $8. And I'm like, tacos not worth it. What else you got on the menu? Like, so when I go to Moe's, I would never get tacos at Moe's. I get the Wrong Doug.
The Wrong Doug?
Have you ever had the Wrong Doug?
No. I'm actually not a big Moe's fan, but yeah, go ahead. Continue.
You should try go back to Moe's. I just took a friend to Moe's. He wasn't a fan of Moe's either, and he got the Wrong Doug with me. So they get the big tortilla shell. They put a little tiny circular hard shell down, and then you put in whatever fixings you want. Your beans, your rice, your meats, your cheeses, your vegetables, all the fixings you want. Then they put another hard shell on top of that. Then they wrap it up, put it on the skillet, grill up the tortilla shell nice and crispy for you, and then it's a beautiful thing.
I guess I'll have to try that, but yeah, I don't know why. Anytime I think, oh, we're going to Moe's, I'm like, it's just okay. It's just one of those okay places.
Are you more of a Chipotle guy?
Yeah, I do. I like the Chipotle. Chipotle is number 1 in my book.
Cool.
All right, now if you had a choice, Chipotle or Moe's, which one would you choose?
Well, Moe's has the Wrong Doug, so I'm going Moe's.
You're going Moe's all the way? Yeah,
Yeah,
I would
the Wrong
go
Doug is-
Chipotle.
The Wrong Doug is I'm telling you, you got to try this Wrong Doug thing.
99 out of 100 times I'm going Chipotle. That's where my heart lies. It's a beautiful thing.
Well, Loudbeard, we our heart lies in being wrong in sports. We were wrong yesterday. I think we both picked.
I've never been wrong, ever.
Never?
Never.
Okay. Not even those times you lost romper bets?
Nope, never. I've never been wrong. Everything in the world happens for a reason, Chris America. And
Oh,
so even
I've
when
heard
I'm
that a
wrong,
few
I'm
times.
right. So this is how the life works.
I've heard that
So
a few times.
Yeah, I've never been wrong.
All right. Well, I was wrong yesterday. I think I said that the Portland Trailblazers would come out on fire. Denver said, no way, Jose. And then I think we both picked, it was Toronto, right? We both picked Toronto over the Sixers. Butler, buzzer beater, or just a game-winning shot.
Yeah, Butler had a great game. I don't know if you got a chance to see the comments afterwards, but head coach Brett Brown was very high on Jimmy Butler's performance, and he went as far to say that this is a performance by James Butler, one that was an adult in the gym. He was such a stud. And he called him James Butler to emphasize how adult he was out there on the court. So Jimmy Butler, after hearing that, said, no, my name's Jimmy. Like, literally, it's Jimmy. It's not James. Jimmy's not short for James. My name is literally Jimmy. And so, that was kind of a little nice side note.
And to his Spanish friends, he's Yimmy.
And so now, if you have an adult-type performance here on Scout Team Radio, I'm officially going to say you're Christopher America. And that's only if you have one of those just game-winning, best performance ever when you play like a real man. I will call you Christopher America because that's what you deserve, because that's how an adult does radio.
Yeah. Well, I'm not there yet because I said he had a buzzer beater. I meant like he had some big shots in the clutch. They won by 5 points, so obviously there's not a 5-point shot in basketball.
But there should be.
I mean,
I think we should
if
do
you
a
shoot from
4-point
where,
line. Big
I think
three.
if you shoot from where Damian Lillard shot the other night, that should be 5 points.
And that shot, that deserved to be a 10-point shot. Just based on all the circumstances, like they should reevaluate. Okay, if it's a game winner and it's clutch and everybody's watching and the whole world cheers and you win the whole series, make that a 20-point shot.
You know, it sucks that we shouldn't really segue into the Bucks game because I had a great segue. Speaking of 10-point Bucks, what do you think about the Bucks tonight with the Celtics?
Oh, look at you.
But I don't think we should move off of these games just yet.
No, yeah, you're just jumping all around. You want to
You just gave me the perfect segue, and I was like, dang, I can't use that segue. But it was so golden that I was like, you know what, I'm going to throw it out there anyways, just so the world can hear it.
Yeah, and with this Sixers Raptors game, I mean, I wasn't expecting the Raptors to come out and just sweep them. So this is going to be a hard-fought series. I just think the Raptors take the entire series when it's all said and done. But the Sixers, they have the manpower, the adult man in the gym power, like James Butler, to be able to give the Raptors a run for their money. So this series isn't over. Like we make these educated guesses based on our guts and our feelings and our eye tests and all that, but it doesn't matter. When they get out on the floor, you get a guy like James Butler, and he goes off in the adult-sized gym. Well, guess what? The Sixers are going to get some wins. So it's not over yet, Chris America. We are going to sit back, eat our popcorn, and enjoy the ride. And I think Raptors take it in 7. So if we go back and forth, and the Raptors end up taking it in 7, I can say, I told you so, and I can eat myself a genius sandwich.
How the hell do you know that?
Because I'm a genius.
Yes, I am a genius, and you need to know that, and you need to recognize that. So that's what's going to happen. But Sixers getting 1, it was bound to happen eventually. So let's just give them a little bit of respect while we can.
I think, honestly, I'm looking at these 4 playoff matchups, and I think these are going to be – I don't think we're going to have anything less than 6-game series in these matchups. I mean, I'm just going to throw that out. My bold prediction is all of these series will go 6 or 7 games.
That's a really good prediction. I don't know if I'd call that bold, though. I mean, these are really great NBA teams, and we're talking about the...
Considering the previous past playoff series, I mean, we had a sweep in the second round last year with the Cavs and the Raptors. I can't remember if the Warriors swept somebody, but, I mean, the last few years they've been going 12-1 through the first 3 rounds. So this would be a first in a long time that we would have all 4 matchups in the second round be 6-game series.
Yeah, it would be a lot of fun. Speaking of bold, and speaking of Taco Tuesday,
Uh-huh.
have you ever had that bold taco at Taco Bell where it's like nacho, like Doritos, but it's a taco shell? That sounds crazy to me. I've never tried it, but I've always thought about it. And you saying bold prediction and Taco Tuesday in the same segment, Really, my mind went straight to that.
Straight to
I didn't
Taco
even
Bell.
listen to anything else you said.
I can't tell you the last time I went to Taco Bell. It's been that long.
Yeah, I don't think I've been there in quite a while. I do like Taco Bell.
Like my stomach gets like kind of churns when I think about Taco Bell now.
Oh, you're highfalutin over there, Chris America. You're like, oh, I only eat at Moe's. Mm-hmm. You put your monocle on when you go to Moe's?
Yes, my monocle
your pinky
and my
up in the
wrong
air?
Doug. Yep, and my wrong
Wrong
Doug.
Doug. I mean, that sounds like a fancy thing.
It
Sounds like
it
you're
is.
just straight fanciness over here.
It sounds so wrong. It should be right.
Well, America, this is how the other half lives. I'm telling you
Yeah.
right now.
Well, the other half lives like Scotty Kaiser, one of our Twitter co-hosts, and he hits us up on @ScoutTeamRadio. You can join the conversation @ScoutTeamRadio on Twitter. He says, I've been saying for years, introduce Hotspot straight NBA Jam Tournament Edition, 4 to 9 point shots from specific spots on the court. Imagine the possibilities.
That'd be perfect.
I agree.
Yeah. Let's do it.
I think
Let's see,
like
what do we got to need to put a memo out to the NBA League? Is that what we need to do?
yeah, let's get it out there.
Okay. Well,
And you know what? Let's add some more pizzazz to it. Like you can also have like alley-oop zones where if you can hit an alley-oop from that far. So if you can throw the ball all the way across the court and nail an alley-oop, I would be for giving that more points.
Now, what if you did more points based on the style of dunk? So you have 3 judges on the side. It's like the slam dunk contest. But in a game, if you do like a windmill dunk or you do like through the legs and they rate you a 9.0 or higher, you end up getting – it ends up being a 3-pointer or a 4-pointer based on the score of quality of dunk. What about that? Throw that out there for you. Just
Only
let
if-
that simmer.
Only if stuff is allowed to come out into the game and allow Aaron Gordon to jump over him.
I don't know that he's going to allow it to happen because Aaron Gordon's just going to jump over him no matter what happens because that guy can jump out of the gym. See, that's one of those NBA draft drinking game phrases. This guy can jump out of the gym. Keep that in mind because I'll be drunk NBA draft day. Will be happening. No.
It'll be here before you know it.
It's coming. NFL draft's already been filed away, put it away back into the back pocket, and now I'm already looking forward to the NBA draft, except this is the first year in a very long time where the Magic will not be in the top 5 or top 10 of the NBA draft. So it's kind of weird world that we live in, Chris America.
Yeah, no lottery pick for us this year.
I know. I might go out and play the lottery just so I feel like I was in the lottery. And
We-
when I lose, just like the Orlando Magic have done the last 7 years, I'll feel like I'm at home.
We went out and got playoff experience for our young players so they can go use that playoff experience at other teams.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing the league a service right now. I hope everybody else in the league is taking note that the Orlando Magic are doing a service for the entire league, and they better represent that and recognize how great we are at being kind of a building block for other teams.
Well, I mean, you look at a guy like Tobias Harris, didn't have many points, but had 11 rebounds, contributed a lot. Former Magic legend J.J.
Yep.
Redick, 11 points. So
All of these guys built up their mojo in Orlando and
in
then
Orlando
went to other teams and really flourished.
That's
I
what
don't
we
need
do.
to break out the whole list because it's long. It's like
No, that's kind of why
Santa's list.
It's kind of why I think like if Aaron Gordon were to leave, he would take off on some other team, and we'd be mad about it, just like Victor Oladipo did.
Yep. All of these things make me sad. So, Chris America, I'm gonna segue over to another NBA story. This has been getting a lot of momentum the last couple days, but the Rockets, man, they are going knee deep into the sabermetrics. They are sending out memos to the league office, and they have put their analytics to work, and they have proven that Golden State is given a major officiating advantage. They have gone and they have reviewed every game from last year's 7-game series in the Western Conference Finals, and they have numbers to put on the paper to prove that the Golden State Warriors have a severe advantage. They actually said that 6 out of the 7 games, it was a double-digit point advantage that they are getting, that in the series last year, they had overall lost a potential 93 points because of missed calls by the officiating. Now, is this the Rockets going a little overboard and going loony, or do they have some validity to this story?
No, and I think teams should have done this a long time ago. We all know that there's a disparity in calls for teams that are good, and then even more so with superstar players like LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry. Like, they get calls, and I've always hated that about basketball. I don't think it should be that way. I think the lowest guy on the bench to the highest superstar on the court should get the same call, the same time, the same amount of times, every time. That's the way officiating should be done. And it's not done that way in the NBA. So I say kudos for Houston for finally saying, you know what, enough is enough. Like, we're over it. We're tired of being the ones that are suffering from it. 93 points off of missed calls, that's insane.
Yeah, that is a large amount of points, and that could have changed it. And the Rockets did what all good business leaders do. They make a strongly worded memo, and the memo itself says, referees likely changed NBA champion. That's a direct quote from this strongly worded memo to the league office. And also, it said, there can be no worse result for the NBA. The Rockets are hitting the league office hard and letting them know how they really feel about this disaster known as the NBA officiating in the playoffs.
No, I like it because we can sit here and complain all we want. Fans can complain all they want on Twitter and Facebook and to each other. The radio show hosts and media guys, they can complain all they want. But nothing really changes until the owners see that there's a problem, and then they need to raise the flag to say, hey, something needs to change. And so obviously this came through the owner first, or he approved of it and allowed his team to spend the money on whatever agency they used or whatever people they have in-house to spend numerous amount of hours figuring this all out. And that's what's going to bring about change. And it's one of the, like I said again, it's one of the things that turns me off on basketball is like, oh, LeBron James gets that foul, but, you know, Aaron Gordon doesn't. Like, what do you mean LeBron James gets that foul, but that makes no sense to me. I just never bought into that kind of thing. Fair is fair to me.
Yeah, and there definitely needs to be some fairness to this because, one, I mean, Golden State, they already have an advantage. It's called a whole lineup of all-stars compared to other teams.
Exactly.
So they don't need an additional advantage.
It's like normal guy buying the rich guy a shot at the bar.
Yes. Wow.
It's like me buying Charles Barkley a shot at the bar. Like, really?
Like, Chuck, I love you on TNT, man. You make me laugh every night.
What do you want to drink?
Let me buy you a shot.
I'll buy you a drink. Whatever you want. The most expensive bottle of wine? Sure, you got it, buddy.
Yeah, he's top shelf up there. Charles Barkley. Chuck,
right.
You only get top shelf.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. You make up very, very valid points here, Chris America. One other thing that they are arguing in Houston, and I kind of like this, they're getting deep into the weeds here a little bit, but they're saying that when it comes playoff time, the league only takes the more experienced officials and puts them on these playoff games. So it's usually officials with like 9 years or more of experience. Well, they're saying that new rules, like having landing space when you're shooting, which has been kind of a hot topic over the last couple years and something that James Harden and Chris Paul are very good at trying to get those fouls on that landing space. So to make sure that the defender isn't underneath the player when they're shooting, they're saying that the more experienced officials that have been around a long time aren't as prone to call that call because they're not used to it because it's a new call. They don't really call it as much. So the younger officials that have come in that study the new rules, that really want to make a difference, they're the ones that have been calling it throughout the regular season. Well, those guys have been given the bench because only the experienced officials are the ones that get called up for NBA playoff games, and now those experienced officials aren't calling the same calls that are now official rules, even though they should be. They're less prone to be able to do that. So this is another little, I guess, wrinkle in this whole case that Houston is making.
Yeah, they went all out on this one, man. They definitely went all out on it, and glad to see it. Glad to see that somebody's saying, hey, something ain't right here. And you know they're hearing it from their fans. So I'm glad they're backing up their fans and everything else and their players because Man, it's got to be frustrating being on a team where you're not getting calls and the other team is.
Oh yeah, especially when this is such a big deal. I mean, the Rockets losing last season. This has been the Goliath, right? Golden State, nobody can take out except for maybe LeBron James-led Cavaliers a couple years back. But nobody could take this team out. So Houston is saying, we're good enough to beat this team. We just need it to be fair. If you make it where it's fair, we feel like we will beat them. But if you make it where there's a lopsided advantage with officiating, there's no way in heck we will ever have a chance because they're just too good to also get all those calls. And you know, the Rockets, they need to be ready. And this is the team that I'm not surprised did this because Daryl Morey and part of this whole Rockets organization for years has been kind of on that cutting edge of the I'll call it the sabermetrics, but they're using the analytics to help develop their team. And they've looked for the players that fit their team the best. And they're one of the teams that knows that, you know, the highest percentage shots are either in the paint or three-pointers. So this team has molded their team completely around this analytics model. And so now going back, they're like, okay, we're just going to keep using numbers. We're going to keep using analytics to prove our point because that's why we've gotten so good as a team. And this is why we can't get over that hump because we're going to use the numbers to prove that there is a disadvantage here. So good for Houston. I'm just going to say good for Houston.
Good for Houston.
Now, can I go back and say that I do think it was unfair, all these missed calls, when I lost my beard bet last season, and the referees owe me one. They should be buying me a top-shelf shot for when I had to shave my beard last season when I bet that the Rockets would beat Golden State, and that whole shenanigans happened, and I blame the refs. They owe me more than just a shot. I'm just saying that.
They probably owe you like free craft brewed beer, your favorite, whatever it is, for a whole year, and they should give you some like beard oil and like a beard comb and just all the different fixings. I don't know what all goes into maintaining a beard and keeping the bird's nest and the germs and the bacteria out of the beard. Whatever that is.
You shut
whatever
your face.
That is.
You shut your face.
They should give you all that stuff for a year.
And last time I saw a picture of you on social media, it looked like you had a little beard. Okay,
I had one going and then I shaved it off again.
Did you really?
Now I'm at 5 o'clock shadow.
You're like Groot in Infinity War when he chops off his arm.
Chop off my arm and then it goes
you
back.
chopped off your own arm by shaving your beard. I hope it hurts every time. I hope it really stings deep down inside because there are no bird's nests. There are no germs. And can you add a beard massage into that package? Because
Yes.
I think I would like one of those also.
Yeah. Whatever you need for your beard, the referee should pay for it. And for those of you that don't know what the heck we're talking about, last year, Loudbeard was all in on the Rockets, and he had a beard bet with our other former co-host, the man with the golden mic, the male aficionado, Anthony Mack. He picked the Warriors, Loudbeard picked the Rockets, and their beards were on the line. And as you guys know, the Rockets lost, and Loudbeard had to shave his beard online or on the radio, live on camera. It was a good episode. We had a barber come in and straight razor his face. And Loudbeard was loud babyface.
I was babyface for a little while. It was weird.
His wife had
Definitely
no
a weird
idea who he
situation.
was. His children were scared of him. His little girl cried.
All of this is true.
It was his worst nightmare.
One of the biggest problems with the whole situation was from day one of the NBA season, Anthony Mack had said, "Oh, it doesn't even matter. We don't even need to play this season. Golden State's just going to win it." And the damn Golden State Warriors proved him right. And I think that's what pissed me off the most. I wanted a team to beat Golden State so bad just to say, like, see, this is why we play the game. This is why we play the game. And no, absolutely not. None of that happened. I was shaved and maimed and all of that, and I was proven wrong. And I'm never wrong. Everything happens for a reason. All of that was built up so that this year Golden State could be taken down. That's all that was.
Yeah, and I think it was also the universe paid you back by making Florida State his favorite team 5-7 last year.
Yeah, that's pretty bad payback. I'm going to jump over to another officiating topic here for you, Chris America.
Okay.
So Steve Kerr has come out, and he said this a couple days ago. This was before the Rockets thing got it's momentum. But he said that he wants the league to change the rule where if you get 7 technicals in the postseason, you automatically get suspended. So this is a rule that could hurt, some of his players, like a guy like Draymond Green, who is known for getting technicals. That could hurt
Yes.
him. But it also hurts teams like the Rockets, where they have a guy like Chris Paul, who's already got a couple technicals in his back pocket, who could easily fall into this. So I like what Steve Kerr is saying, to be honest with you, because I do think that this could hurt. Now, if you did it based on series, let's say you said, okay, if you had 4 technicals or more in a series, then you're going to get suspended. But for having it carry over from, let's say you get 2 or 3 technicals in the first round of the playoffs, and then all of a sudden in the NBA Finals, you could be suspended a game. To me, that's a little excessive, and I do think that rule needs to change. What are your thoughts on this?
Honestly, that's what I was kind of thinking when you were talking about it. Like, well, what would they change it to? Like 4 a series? Because you get kicked out of the game if you get 2, right?
Yeah.
If you get 2 in one game, you're out. So 4 a game, I don't know. I mean, what do they do in soccer? This is like the only sport where they have these kind of rules. Like soccer, you get 2 red card or 2 yellows, you're out. But do they add like red cards up in the season or like playoffs or anything like that? Like in the world, I don't know.
Every
You tell
league's
me.
a little bit different, but yeah, you can get suspended additional
Okay,
games
so
if you get
NBA
red
is not
cards
the only
and
one
stuff,
doing
yeah.
this then. Okay.
No,
'Cause I know the
this is-
NFL doesn't really do this. And the only thing that like football has in college football, you have the targeting rule where if you get kicked out in the second half, you have to sit out the first half. That's the only time where penalties kind of carry over to other games. Yeah, I think. How often does the 7 technical rule come to play though in the NBA playoffs? I mean,
Well,
if
that's
you
a
got
good question. I could
if
do a little
you-
research on that.
if it's not that many and it ends up being like the same 2 or 3 guys every single playoff series, then maybe those 2 or 3 guys should just chill the F out.
Yeah, I
saying.
agree.
Like Draymond Green, we know who he is. We know what kind of player he is. He likes to live life on that edge of being dirty and a little on the I'm going to break the rules whenever I can type guy. So do I really need to feel sorry for that guy when he gets kicked out for a game because he's got 7 of those technicals while he's toting that line?
No, and Draymond's the guy that comes to mind because he is the guy that is always in that conversation. There's a lot of these guys that are agitators, I guess would be the best way to put it. A guy like Jared Dudley in that Brooklyn Nets series. And those are the guys that get the technicals, that get kicked out of games, and they're the guys that are constantly on this list. But surprisingly, a guy that led the league in technicals this season was close to leading the league. I have to look at the final numbers, but Kevin Durant, he gets a surprising high number of technical fouls. So imagine if Kevin Durant in Game 7 of the finals ended up being suspended or something like that. That would be bad for the league.
Yeah, it would be. So Loudbeard, we got 1 minute left until the break. So I'm going to do my last poem for Poetry Month.
Aw,
It has been
that's
Poetry
so
Month
cute.
Today's the last day of April. April's come and gone. And here we go. Ready for it?
Yep.
This poem is called Yeah. Peace up, A-Town. Yeah. Okay, Little John. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 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 I'm in the club with my homies trying to get a little VI. Keep it down on the low key, 'cause you know how it feels. I said, Shawty, she was checking up on me. From the game she was spitting, my ear, you'd think she knew me. So we decided to chill. Conversation got heavy, Loudbeard. She had me feeling like she was ready to blow. Watch out, oh, watch out. She's saying, come get me. Come get me. So I got up and followed her to the floor. She said, baby, let's go. When I told her, I said, yeah, yeah. Shawty got down and said, come and get me. Yeah, yeah. I got so caught up, I forgot she told me. Yeah, yeah. Her and my girl would be the best of homies. Yeah, yeah. Next thing I knew, she was all up on me screaming, yeah, yeah, yeah. So Loudbeard, take that. and rewind it back. Ludacris got the flow to make your booty go. Take that and rewind it back. Little John got the beat that make the booty go. Take that and rewind it back because Usher got the voice to make your booty go. Thank you.
Hey, Kawhi, what are you laughing at, man? This isn't funny. Fantasy sports reimagined. FanDuel, that's what I'm talking about. It is more than just fantasy sports. It's the best way to watch the games, win real cash, and bring the action right to your living room. Just choose a contest, make your picks, watch, and win. And if you go to FanDuel.com/STR today, you can get a $5 deposit bonus. Once again, that's FanDuel.com/STR. Come on, man. This is not a laughing matter.
When I'm working hard, I build up a thirst for sports. That's when I grab a cold 12-ounce sports radio. "12-ounce sports radio. Quench your sports thirst."
If you've been listening to Scout Team Radio for a long time, you know that myself, Loudbeard, has placed a bet or two in his day. That's right, I've lost the beard bet, I lost the romper bet, but one place I don't like losing is when I bet money, and I can easily do that at MyBookie. That's right, you can go to mybookie.ag, use promo code 12OZSports, and get a 100% deposit bonus up to $1,000. Hey, guess what? That is a lot of money. Do it.
Hey everybody, it's your favorite Patriot, Chris America, and I want you to listen every single weekday, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., and on replays from 11 a.m. to noon of Scout Team Sports. Listen, George Washington did not cross over the ocean blue in 1492 to defeat the Nazis, so you can listen to the same tired national clickbait sports stories. So once again, tune in to us every single morning, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., and then we replay from 11 to noon. I will see you there, and God bless America.
Welcome back. Once again, you are listening to Scout Team Radio. We bring it to you hot and live Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. on 12-ounce Sports Radio. We are also being simulcasted every 6 a.m. on Full Press Coverage Radio. We're excited to be a part of their radio coverage. Also, we record each and every episode as a podcast. If you can't catch us live every single morning, you can always go back and listen to that podcast. It's available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, anywhere you find a podcast, including the Barn Burner Podcast Network, which can be found at barnburner.ca, great partner of ours. And if you want to get social, if you want to join that conversation, make sure you hit us up on Twitter at Scout Team Radio. You can tweet at us. We will read your tweets live on the air. We will talk about your topics, your subjects, all of that good stuff because, hey, that's what we do. That's how we roll. With all of that being said, Chris America, man, we are having ourselves a doozy of a morning this morning. At least I am. I had struggled getting the show started on time because I was having trouble getting into the studio equipment on time. It was giving me that whole, when the circle sits there and it's like loading and loading and loading, and then the computer never comes up. That's what happened to me this morning. And then I took a quick break on the commercial break, and I came back to dead air, so I was missed my cue by a couple seconds there. So, man, I'm having all kinds of problems this morning.
Loudbeard, I've never been there before. I don't know what that's like to miss your cue.
Yeah, you have no idea. You have no idea.
Never once.
It's the real struggle. The struggle is real, Chris America. Yeah, that commercial break, I always feel like it lasts a little bit longer, and sometimes I just, I'm sitting here taking notes, getting ready for the second half of our show, which is always electric, by the way, for all those listeners out there. You got to listen to the first half of the show, quick commercial break. Second half, always electric, just saying. And sometimes I take notes, but this morning I'm like, okay, I need to run real quick and do something and, come back in dead air, and I feel like a schmuck this morning. I don't know what's going on. I've been taken down from executive producer to right now I'm just co-producer. I need to go back to executive again. Like I got to get my producer card back.
Yeah, or we just need to hire a producer. We'll pay him in I don't know, shredded cheese.
Okay. Do you have a lot of shredded cheese?
Isn't that what that means? Like you go out and you make the cheese, or is it you make the bread? Maybe we'll pay him in bread. No.
Yeah, the cheese. That's the thing. Making the cheese, making the bread. Yeah. Bringing home the bacon. Is that what you're going to do?
There we go. But bacon, I don't want to pay somebody. I don't think we have enough money to pay people in bacon.
All right.
I'd probably just end up eating it myself. We get paid in bacon. They get paid less than that.
All right. So segue from deer bacon to the Milwaukee Bucks. They're playing tonight against the Boston Celtics. They had that huge loss the other night, but Giannis makes comments that despite the big loss, that they're not going to change their game plan. They're going to stick with what they're doing because it's worked all season long. So we'll see how the Bucks react tonight against the Celtics. Do you think they bounce back and even up the series?
I think so. I don't know if they even up the series, but I definitely think they bounce back. I don't think they get blown out again like they did on the other night in Game 1. But, yeah, I think they bounce back. I think Giannis probably goes off. Al Horford, I don't know if Al Horford can hang with him every single game of the series. Al Horford's been in the league for a minute, and Giannis is a young buck. See what I did there?
I see what you did there. I see
and, sometimes those young legs are a lot fresher and can go. Thank you. I'll be here all night.
Is that too late?
No. It's never too late.
That's my producing. I'm about 3 seconds too late on everything today.
It's never too late for a good crowd laugh. Sometimes it takes the crowd a little bit longer to get it. So, but yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. I think this is gonna be a very, very good game though. Get ready for an electric game.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the Bucks do bounce back. I think they get this series back to 1-1, so that they, like you said, all these series are probably going to go at least 6 games because they do seem like they're evenly matched teams. And Milwaukee's got something to prove. Everybody was saying they were so great all regular season long, that number one team, most wins in the regular season. But when playoff time comes, things get a little bit different. That playoff intensity turns up, and that's what the Bucks need to do. They need to turn up their playoff intensity and really go out and show the Celtics that they're not joking around, that they're ready for this matchup. So I'm excited to see this one. And we also have another big matchup tonight. We kind of talked about the Rockets and their officiating woes, but Rockets Golden State tonight, another huge matchup. Can the Rockets even this series up 1-1, and can they get a big win on Golden State's floor tonight?
Well, I'm kind of interested, since you've told that whole story about their big-time investigation and diving deep into the sabermetrics of refereeing. I'm kind of curious to see how this game is going to be called. If the NBA is going to actually mention something to the refs about how they're calling these plays and these games. Do you think they're going to overcompensate and call too many on the Warriors? I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this shakes up. So I think that's going to be the one thing to look for. Now, Loudbeard, we totally disrespected 2 fan bases and 2 really good NBA teams.
All right, which ones?
The Denver Nuggets and the Portland Trailblazers. I mentioned it.
We didn't talk about the team enough.
We never went back to talk about it. And some good games were had by Nikola Jokic and our boy Damian Lillard. 39 for Lillard, 37 for Jokic. But it looked like Jokic had a little bit more help from his teammates, getting 23 from Murray. Jamal Murray going off, 8 assists, 23 points. And Paul Millsap, not a bad game with 19 points, 6 rebounds.
Yeah, those are the contributors that need to step up for the Denver Nuggets. Those are the guys that have been there all season long. Now, Millsap was hurt for a lot of the season, but he is a big part of this team. So when he has a good game, that's going to help them out quite a bit. And, of course, Jamal Murray is that point guard, that guy that's kind of leading the charge. and between them and Jokic, this does need to be a well-rounded Denver performance for them to be able to win. And the Blazers, Lillard with 39. I mean, Lillard has been lights out. I love the way this guy plays. He's a lot of fun to watch. This series is going to get a little buried just because the Blazers and the Nuggets aren't the big flashy names like the Rockets
Right.
and the Warriors or the Celtics and the Sixers and like those are those teams that people want to watch because they're from the big cities. Philadelphia, huge fan base. Boston, huge fan base. Rockets and Golden State, they have that history, and Golden State's the
Well, I mean, even
defending
just huge fan
champions.
bases. I think Houston is one of the top 10 largest cities in the United States.
Right. And then so when you go to, for some reason, Denver and Portland, which are big cities in their own right, I'm not
Right,
putting
but
that down.
they're
just
nowhere
not
near.
huge sports
Right.
cities. They're really
Well,
not.
I mean, Denver's a huge sports city for themselves. I mean, they got I believe they have every single major sport team, don't they? They have
Yeah.
a baseball team, a basketball
They-
team, a hockey team, and a football team. So
yeah, the Rockies, Avalanche, Nuggets, and Broncos.
Broncos. Yeah. So I wouldn't say it's not a huge sports town. It's just not huge nationwide. Like I think in that area in Colorado, Denver, I mean it's it. That's the deal. But it's obviously not as populated as Houston or San Francisco, Oakland area. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's what Golden State has. They have both Oakland and San Francisco.
That's true. That's true. So good game there. All of these matchups are great in the NBA.
But Enes Kanter and Damian Lillard were really the only ones performing last night for the Blazers, and everybody else was just kind of, you got 2 points from Amonu, 2 points from Harkless,
How did
16
McCollum
points.
do?
Yeah, 16 points for McCollum, which isn't bad. But when everybody else is struggling, you kind of somebody needs to pick up that slack.
Yeah, he needs to be 20 plus in this series for them to win. Is I think what needs to happen.
And if he's at 16, then Harkless and Amonu need to step up and add
Yeah.
some contribution, and the bench needs to step up. I mean, Rodney Hood had 17, but everybody else was just below 5 points. Like you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players below 5 points that were on the floor for more than 12 minutes. That's
Yep.
crazy.
Well, Chris America, I think I'm about ready to pivot off of the NBA.
Let's
Are you
pivot
okay
off
if I
it.
do that?
Yeah, pivot.
So I've got good news for you, and this is, to me, maybe one of the more shocking things that I've seen. And the Score, which is one of my favorite news outlets to go off of, I think they're a little bit less biased than the ESPNs of the world. So I like to check out the Score for some of my news. And they've released their MLB Power Rankings. And the Power Rankings have a interesting number 1 on them. And it's a big market, kind of like your Denver and Portland. That's right, the Tampa Bay Rays, who can't even put more than 10,000 fans in the seats, are number 1 on the Major League Baseball Power Rankings for the Score. Wow, I did not see this coming.
Yeah, and man, especially after the first game, I had gone all out and said the Rays are going to surprise people. They're going to win. It's going to be huge. And then they come out and they played like the Rays always do. And now they're 19-9. They have, I believe, the best record in Major League Baseball. I mean, or at least the most wins. Did they catch up to Seattle? I think they did. Yep, looks like they have the most wins in Major League Baseball right now. Nope, they're tied with the Dodgers. They're 19-12. So they're tied for first with the most wins so far this season at 19-9. And the Yankees, though, they're starting to pick it up. They're 9-1 in the last 10 games. They're 17-11. They were hanging around 500 for the longest time, but now they've found their groove. So the Rays have to keep this up for a really long time.
They really do. And the teams that you mentioned, the Dodgers, they're sitting number 2 in the power rankings. The Astros, number 3, and then Yankees, like you had said, number 4, which the Yankees surprised me the most because they have had such a rash of injuries. A lot of their starters from opening day are on the injured list. So that's
including Aaron Judge, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The big names. I mean, they're sitting there, and, a guy like Gary Sanchez came back, but he missed a lot of time. Aaron Judge is going to be out for like an extended period of time. And let's see, Giancarlo Stanton's still out. He's recovering. Aaron Hicks is out. It's just a lot of their big-time names are missing time, and it's surprising that they've done so well. Now, the Rays, this is kind of something a little interesting here. And this article that I read, it said the Rays may have fleeced every team in recent trades. So the Rays are making good moves. So in recent trades over the last year, they've acquired some really great talent that's helped them become the number one power-ranked team in Major League Baseball. Guys like Austin Meadows and guys like Tommy Pham and Yandy Diaz all have been quality acquisitions that the Rays have picked up. And these guys have combined for like $5 million in salary, but are sitting at a 3.7 WAR. So the Rays have brought in really quality players to help them be where they're at. Now, it is a marathon of a season. We know that. They've got to keep it up. But it's nice to see that they have some really great talent. And another guy, Tyler Glasnow, who is pitching lights out, who every year the Rays seem like they have another pitcher that comes out of the woodwork, right? A few years back, it was Chris Archer. And
David Price.
David
just keep
Price.
Going back and back
Big
and
game,
back.
James Shields. You can keep going back. But last season it was Snell, and this season now we've got Glasnow. It's just an unbelievable, just revolving door of Cy Young caliber pitchers that seem to show up for the Rays. Now, on a second note here, the power ranking has the Dodgers at number 2, and I'm going to attribute the Dodgers' really great play to one dude. And now it's probably not fair because they have had a lot of great contributors on this team, and that's good. That's a good thing. But one guy stands out, and that's Bellinger, man. So we've been talking a lot about Christian Yelich, and he has been on a tear from the very beginning. And he started leading the league in home runs, and he got to the point where he tied this record for most home runs before May 1st. Well, Bellinger is in that same conversation, and we haven't talked about Cody Bellinger enough. He is at 14 home runs, so he's tied with Christian Yelich, and this is the most home runs in Major League Baseball history before May 1st, tying the likes of Albert Pujols in 2006 and A-Rod in 2007. But he's not just doing it with home runs. He's also leading the league in RBIs with 37, setting a major league record for most RBIs before May 1st, passing Mark McGwire and Juan Gonzalez. Cody Bellinger is having an MVP start to this season, and he has been playing so good, and we have not been talking about him enough. And that is why the Los Angeles Dodgers are sitting there at that second seed in this power ranking that we're continue to talk about.
Yeah, I talked to Cody the other day, and he said, Chris America, I appreciate Poetry Month. Your poems, they really inspire me to go out and play my best and play my hardest. They move me to my deepest core, to the depths of my soul, and I appreciate you. So you're welcome, Cody. Good showing, and I'm glad I could do my part during Poetry Month.
I'm glad that Chris America is a poet, and he knows it. And
yes.
that's why you're so good at this.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, sir. I appreciate your recognition.
Yeah. So this is crazy right here, Chris America. I mean, I love looking at some of these teams. I mean, Astros, I'm not surprised there. They've just got a stacked team, and they have been good year in and year out over the last 3 to 4 years. And Yankees, again, all those injuries kind of surprising there. Cardinals, they always seem to be in the conversation no matter who they have on their team. So very good there. I'm going to go the bottom 6 of the top 10 here, or the bottom 5 of the top 10. So at number 6, we have the Chicago Cubs. Number 7, Seattle Mariners. Number 8, Philadelphia Phillies. Number 9, Minnesota Twins. And number 10, Arizona Diamondbacks. Any surprises there for you, Chris America? Any of these teams that you're kind of shocked that they're on here, or maybe a team that you thought would be a little higher? Like the Phillies sitting at number 8, I thought would maybe a little bit higher, but they've been kind of cold as of late.
Yeah, Phillies are 5-5. They're 16-12. 5-5 in the last 10. I think the surprise to me isn't so much this year, but it's a surprise to see when the Cubs won the World Series. People didn't expect them to really go away anytime soon, and they've sort of just been fading slowly and getting further and further away from being that team that everyone picked at the beginning of the season to win a World Series. So they were at 6, and I kind of feel like that might be a little high. for them as well. But I mean, they're 7-3 in their last 10, so I don't know if they base it off of what's been going on overall and plus recency. But I mean, where did you say the Cardinals were on that list?
Yeah, Cardinals are actually sitting at number 5, a little bit ahead
Okay.
of the Cubs.
Well, and they should be because they're winning. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of why I don't like top 10s and power rankings and stuff, because then you get into debates like, okay, what is a record? What have they been doing? How have they been doing it? That kind of thing. So, but Cubs, not a surprise that they're at 6, because that's probably where they are. Maybe, I mean, you can even rank them a little bit lower, but overall, when you look back when they won that World Series, we kind of thought we were in for a long haul until some of those young guys' contracts came up, and they haven't really yet. And they didn't really go out and get anybody. I remember when Bryce Harper was a favorite to go to the Cubs. That never came to fruition. So just overall a surprise in the long run that the Cubs just aren't that team anymore.
Yeah, they really aren't. And you say that you hate power rankings, but how do you really feel about Power Rangers? That's the real question the fans want to know.
Well, the original Power Rangers, all good to go. Once they started getting into space and all those other stuff, I was out.
What about the movie? Did you ever see that, the new one that came out?
I did not see the new one. Was it good?
I'm not going to say it was good, but it was surprisingly better than I thought it would be.
Yeah,
I took
so
the
the
kids to go
expectation
see
theory.
it. Yeah, I was like, this is, part of culture in America.
Yeah.
You need to see the Power Rangers so you know what's going on. And they were surprisingly, it was surprisingly better than I thought it would be. I don't think I would rewatch it. And sometimes rewatchability is how I gauge how good
Right.
a movie is.
Yeah.
So it doesn't fall into the rewatchability spectrum, but I would say it was a fun watch. If you can find it free on like Netflix or Hulu or something like that, and can watch it, it's worth it. It's worth a watch. If you have
What was
time
what
on
was the robot's name?
Zord or
Zordon?
something like that?
No, it's
Zordo?
Zordon.
Zordon, yeah.
Well, Zordon was the big head, right?
Yeah, the face that was like
And
on
then
the
there was that
computer.
little robot. Like, did they have the little robot in the movie?
Oh yeah.
Did
All
he-
the
did he-
original characters were back.
Did he ever go, ay, 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 ay?
Yeah, I don't think so. I can't remember.
Then it's not
It's
worth
all
the
when
watch. If it's not going to be authentic, I don't want to watch it.
The guy that plays the big head is the dad from Malcolm in the Middle. I don't know why I can't remember his name. Alpha.
Oh, yeah.
We just got a tweet in. Thank
Did you wait?
Scott
Hold on.
Kaiser.
What was his name?
Alpha.
Alpha. Okay, so number one, did you just say the dad from Malcolm in the Middle, or Bryan Cranston, Walter White?
Yeah, Walter White, that guy.
I love that you went all the way past Walter White, his probably most iconic role ever, and went to Malcolm in the Middle dad. I love that.
That's where he was first on the scene
No,
for me. I don't remember
get
him
it.
pre that. Like I go
I get it.
I go
But
back to the roots.
It'd be kind of like, I don't know, going. Now I'm trying to think of like a
So George
equivalent
Lucas,
to
the
that.
guy from Indiana Jones.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what that would be like.
Yeah, just like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So where was I going? Did you ever watch that skit from Key and Peele where it shows how racist Power Rangers were and how racist Zordon was?
I'm not racist.
You should
I've
check it
never
out. It's
seen
pretty
that, no.
funny. And
Is
then
it
when you're
funny?
done checking out that Key and Peele skit of Power Rangers racist, go to Spotify, go to Stitcher, go to Podbean, go to Apple Podcasts, search Scout Team Radio. Thank you for listening. Subscribe to all of those channels. Peace.